Hello everyone, how are you doing today? So let's learn Linux. Okay. So today the topic is modified command invocation. Okay. So first command is chroot. So basically this command is used to create a sandbox environment. Suppose if you have a requirement where you want to give specific access or access to specific commands to a user for some kind of testing purpose, you can use this command chroot. Okay, so this will allow us to confine a process. Like a process should be run in a specific environment. Okay, so hope you have seen the virtual machines. So in virtual machines, whatever you runs, that does not affect outside the system. Okay, so in the same way, chroot will provide you a virtual environment. Okay, so why should we use chroot? So it gives us limited environment option, limited user environment. Imagine you have a new user, guest, who only needs access to web browser or text editor. So using chroot, what we can do, we can create change root for that and give access only to the web browser and text editor to that user. Then package installation testing. So suppose if you have a package software or anything that you want to test whether without affecting the exact actual system, you can use this chroot. Then system rescue. During the system recovery, chroot allow you to access minimum file system structure from live CD or USB drive, so that nothing else is affected. Okay, so let's see how to create it. So preparing the limited environment, we will create a directory, that is chroot, inside home guest chroot. Then what we'll do, we'll copy bin bash, bin ls, bin nano, home guest chroot. Okay. So these are the essential binaries which we will be copying to home guest and chroot. Okay. So only these commands will be available for the guest user. Then we will list the uh, will also copy the libraries which are needed to be which are needed to run these programs. Okay, so cp-r library x64 Linux GNU SO home guest user chroot. So these are the basic library which are needed to run these commands. So we'll copy that. Then we'll set the guest user home directory to chroot jail. Okay, so user mode -d, so home guest and chroot for the user guest. So basically this will be the root directory of guest, and only these commands will be available to the user to run. Okay, and then allow guest user to log in using a restricted shell. So for that we need to run echo bin bash, that is redirection etc password. Okay. So this will modify the guest user in shell etc password replaced with actual shell if desired. Okay. So whatever shell is there for the guest user, it will replaced by /bin bash. Okay. So testing the new environment, creating a temporary chroot del mkdir in same way. Copy these bin lib etc user. So these are the directory which we will copy and create it. And if you want to install a package manager also, so chroot temp, chroot test, apt update. So basically in this environment, this is that is like a virtual kind of environment. So this will be installed, my new app. So once this is installed, you can check the workability of this application and decide like whether this application is running fine and is it safe to deploy to the actual production environment or something. Okay. Okay, so hope you have understand. So important consideration which we need to understand. So using this, we can create a separate directory, copy all the programs dependency into the new directory, and then run the chroot command. Okay, this allow to program to launch. Okay, inside. So basically, what it will do? So it will the programs will not have programs or user will not have access outside this chroot or this jail kind of thing to the base system. It won't be available, and it will safer for testing purpose and other things like a user is a newbie and you don't want them to um, play with the base system. You can use this command. Okay, so root privilege is required. Okay, for executing chroot. Okay, so this has limited functionality. So it has also some security implication. Okay, it's not foolproof. Like it's not foolproof like a virtual machine or virtual machine software. Okay, so alternative to this command is virtual machines, containers like Docker and others. Okay, so hope you have understand the command. So basic, it's a basic small. It will create a small environment where you can test several things. You can give some access to new users. These kind of things you can perform using chroot command. Okay, so let's move forward now. The next command is env. So this will allow you to run a program with modified environment variable. Okay, so if you just run env command, if you see here, I have just given env. So it has given me all the environment variables that are set in the current system. If you want to set any variable, then you can run env my variable new value my script. Okay. So let's see if you have a Python script that relies on specific environment variable and you don't want to change the variable value as a global. So what you can do, you can create a local environment variable in the current specific user and then use it in the your programming. Sorry, in your program like this. Okay. So suppose if you want you need a variable that is my variable and the value, okay, and my script, okay. So it will set this variable to environment and then your program can run. Okay. So hope you have understood now. So see, this is how we can set export. I like ice cream, and when I see environment variable, that variable is available in the cursor. So suppose if you have a program, for example, I'm saying, and that requires a special kind of variable like Java path or Python path or anything else. You can use like this and set the value. Suppose if you have more number of more than one Python installed in a system or more than one Java installed in a system, and if you want specific Java or Python to be called, you can set an environment variable where your program is running, and that way the whole system will not be affected. Okay, so let's move forward now. So we have other command that is called nice. So basically nice command is a like priority manager or politeness manager for your computer program. So basically it lets you to influence how much CPU program gets. Like it will help you to change the priority of any program that is running in the current system. So basically, if you are like if you have ever worked on Windows and you have opened a task manager and by selecting a process, there is an option to change the priority of a program. So that is some is real time, above normal, normal, below normal, and low priority. So these are the some kind of priorities in Windows. So likewise, if you can see here are the nice values. Okay. Okay. So these are nice values. Okay. So the range of this value typically from 20, which is most nice, 19 the least nice. So minus if you're giving something minus 20, so the priority will be like most of the priority will be given to that program. Okay, so suppose for example where it can use some of the practical examples. Suppose see if you are zipping a file. So either two things you can want, like one to run it with high priority, or to run it is in a background. So suppose if you want to run it in a background and don't want other program to be affected, so you can like give the nice value to 10 or 19 or so. So basically mostly it will use the least time of the CPU. And if you giving -20, that means most of the CPU time will be given to the that command, and it will so exactly. So if you are increasing the priority, your program will run faster and more faster and complete sooner. If you're giving least priority, that means it will take some time and it will be running like in a background also. Okay. Okay, so some practical example of this command are running CPU intensive task in the background. Okay, so suppose if you have any task which is very CPU intensive, and suppose sometime if you run it, it just hangs the system. Okay, or affects other programs. So you can decrease the priority and run it in the background by giving it least nice value. Okay, preventing a program from hogging CPU. So suppose if you have program which takes CPU time, so you can decrease the priority, preventing a process from hogging CPU resources, improving responsiveness during compilation. So suppose if you want to compile some code, if you want good performance, so you can give more nice value, most nice volume. You can give -20, -19. Okay, so like that. So it will be your compilation will have more CPU time and more focused on your program. Okay, so basically while running this command, you have to make sure that you make a balance between giving a nice value. Suppose if you have a program which takes lot of resources and you give it the most nice value, suppose -20, so it may hang your system. Okay, and suppose if you have a important program which has to run in general way, and if you're giving it -19 nice value, so it will take more time to complete. So I hope you understand. So basically nice value is nothing but it gives a program. So to make you understand, this is nothing but this is a kind of, suppose I'll give one example. You go to hospital. Okay, so you have two or three parts. Okay, so sometimes, so if a general patient comes, it is that patient is taken to OPD, and then he consults the doctor. And there is on one system that is emergency. Okay, so in that case someone comes in emergency, so that person is directly taken into account, avoiding all other cases like in general cases. So this is how the example in real life. Okay, so suppose for example there are two scenario. If you have a meeting, your speaker comes, you take him first, because he is the most important person in a conference or something, and general people will have their own way of coming. Okay, so basically this command is used to increase the priority or lower the priority of a program in a system. Okay, so hope you have understand. The next command is Nohup or no hung up. So basically sometime you need your program to run in background. Okay, so so that suppose you want to run something and you want it to run even if you come out of the terminal, so you can use this Nohup command. So what Nohup does, like it's keep process running in the background. Okay, so even if you come out of the terminal, that your program what you have executed or initiated, it will be running into the background. Okay, when you run a command Nohup, it dedicates the process the current terminal session, so that if you log out or close the window, the program keeps running in the background. Okay, so it also redirects the output by default. Nohup redirects the program standard. So whatever if you are running any program with Nohup, so it will redirect whatever output is coming from the that process or program. It will be redirect to a Nohup file. By default, it creates a Nohup file. You can also change that to any other file that you want to write. So basically, if you run something like Nohup and your program name, so a new file nohup.out will be created, and all the output of the your program will be written to this. So basically, in crux, the crux is like this Nohup is used to run a program into the background, even user has logged out or come out of the system. Okay, so sometimes, for example, suppose if you are making tar of for a very large number of files, okay, and sometimes timeout happens or you don't give input, then your terminal automatically disconnects and that process abruptly stops. So in that case, what you want, you want to, suppose you want to like compress thousands of files. So what you will do, you will do nohup tar hyphen cvzf and the star or something. So it will, that command will be running in the background, and it will write a no output to nohup. Okay, so this is how the simply you can run like this. So nohup backup.sh. So backup will be running in the background, and so this is given to send it to the background. Okay. Okay, for one more example is like this. So nohup python data analysis. Okay, my data.csv. Okay, and the logs will be written to this. So error logs and the std error and std out errors will be written to this like log directory that is defined by this one. Okay, so 2 greater than ampersand 1 redirects the standard error to the same file as the std out. Okay, so in summary, what you can say, nohup is a command which will help you to run any program or process or a script in background, and it will keep on running till it finishes, even if you log out of the system. Okay, so this is very useful command. So most of the administrator or Linux user use this type of command to keep the process running in background. So you have another option, the screen, that is out of scope of this. So you can read about screen command that also creates a separate process and keeps your process running under that screen. Okay, so basically Nohup is available and it's very easy to use, so you can use this. Let's move forward now. So basically now it is StdBuf. So this is very lesser known powerful tool in Linux that helps to control how program interacts with the terminal buffering system. So whenever you run a process or a script or something, so a buffer is created, okay, and then it is written to the disk, okay. So why to keep the things fast? So every time if the process will write to disk, it will take more time, okay. So suppose if you have a highway of on ramp and off ramp, so buffering is like small waiting area. So if you can see, yes, suppose you have gone to a railway station, okay, and you have a waiting area. So instead of everyone into line, what you do, you take a coupon and wait in the waiting area. So what it does, so a buffering is also a system where data is stored intermediately to be written on disk. Okay. By default, terminal buffers data use specific condition meant, let's new line character or from like in some situations. Slow updates or pipelines. Okay, so these are the some examples of buffer. So STD buffer can help forcing the output to be flushed. So as you run this command StdBuf, okay, so it will write the data to the. So suppose, for example, I'll tell you. So if you have some unimportant, like in very insignificant process running, and you don't care about the data, okay, it's processing or something. So you can run it as it is running, okay. But suppose if you have running a process which is processing some data, and it tends to keep the data into the memory, and suppose the system goes down, a system abruptly stops or halts, So that may cause the data loss, and the data is very costly as so that loss may cost lot of things. So in that case, if you want a process to write the data synchronously, like as much as like smallest duration between writing the data. So you can use this command to write the data as it is, not to be buffered. Just write, keep it there, so that data loss should not be there. Okay. So for example, so StdBuf O line tail file system. So O line tail F system. Okay, so real time log monitoring. So this basically will show you the real time. So when you generally use a tail command, it will buffer for some time, then it will display on the terminal. So if you give this, okay, it will tail the data in or log into real time. Okay, so faster data pipeline. You want analyzer large file to grep and see the result as they come. Buffering might slow things down. Try. So like this, you can slow down the buffering. Okay. Cat large file grep some pattern. Okay. So real time monitoring. So these are things which you using which you can like achieve through set StdBuf command. Okay. So basically, a command with modify buffering. So it's just a way. So for example, you can say that there are two people. Okay, one is giving some files to, suppose there are two people A and B. So A is giving some files to B. And B, what it is do, what how is doing? It's keeping files in his hand, and once number of files increases to 10, he keeps that file into the self. Okay, but suppose if you have some requirement like uh, the file should be kept as A gives the file to B. So what you can do, you can use this command, and so when suppose A is giving file 1 to like person B, at the same time the person B will keep the file into self and then again put his hand for the second file. So like that it happens. So accordingly to this, you can increase the buffer, like intermediate storage will be controlled by this command. Okay. So timeout. So basically timeout is also an good command. So suppose if you have a process, okay, the command in Linux used to execute a command with specific time limit. So in some cases, suppose if you are running a process and that process keeps on running or goes to infinite loop or something. So for safety reason, what you can do, you can give a timeout. Like suppose here, okay, suppose I want to run a command. Suppose I'm testing connectivity to a server. Okay, so basically curl command and all, they have timeout option in them in only, but suppose we have some command which has to be tested, and you know that that command should not go beyond 30 seconds for testing purpose. So you can use like timeout 30 seconds and that command. So basically this command will run till 30 seconds, like for 30 seconds. After that this will be killed automatically. Okay, timeout 1 minute. So this script will be running uh, for 1 minute. If it goes beyond 1 minute, it will be killed automatically. So suppose I want to download a file, okay, and I know that it will take less time, but for some other error or some reason, it is taking time and don't want the process to be hung. Okay, so I'll define a timeout like 30 minutes wget and this big file. Okay, so this will be downloaded using wget, and if this download goes beyond 30 minutes, that will be killed. Okay, so like this you have many other options. Okay, so in terminal command, like timeout command, sorry, you can, so the timeout, so basically the timeout command, you can define it in second, minutes, hour and days. So 10 second, 5 minutes, 2 hours, 3 days. Like this you can give. Okay. Timeouts you can. So I hope you have understood this. Okay. So thank you for watching this video. Hope you have liked it. Please do like, subscribe, comment, and share with your friends if you learned something from this video. Please do support us. Comment if you like something. Do comment if you don't like something. Then comment for sure, like what you did like, what we should improve. Thanks for watching. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.